Welcome to the embedded system class. In today's class, I am going to explain about timer and counting devices. Every embedded system will have timer and counting devices. So the main function of timer is counting the number of events, and it has two functions. It counts the input events at irregular instants, and second function is counts the clock input pulses at regular intervals. The main timer output gives the number of events or pulses counted. So within this time period, how many events are performed, that information is given by timer counter. So timers are essential to almost any embedded application. So every embedded application will use these functions. Timers are essential, right? So it generates, so where we need timers means, so these are the main four blocks where we need timers. So first one, generate fixed time intervals, and second, periodic wake up. So whenever any block is in sleep mode, when we want to wake up within this time period, we need a timer circuit. And when we need to count how many number of events or how many number of edges perform, there also we need a timer circuit. So whenever we want to so these are replacing delay loops with timers. Calls allows CPU to sleep and consuming much less power. So there are different types of timer modules are there. So first one is basic timer. So second one is timer A and B, watchdog timers, and real time timers are there. So these are the four types of timers we have. So next, the operation of the timer is controlled by timer control register, right? So here we have a timer control registers. So which operation is going on will be defined by timer control register, and the status flags indicates the status of the timer. So which stage the timer is operate will be given by the status flag registers. So the control bits in timer control registers are timer enable, timer start, timer stop, prescaling, and up count. If you want to count up, we use this up count enable. If you want to count from down count, we use down count. We can enable down count status. If you want to load, we use load enable. So these are the various states in timer. So we have different state. So reset state, if we want to initial, from where we want initial state, nothing but from 0 to we can start reset state. So next one, initial load state. So if you want to count from 10 or if you want to count from 20, we can load that data. If you want how many number of events can happens in that time period, so that you can. So preset, so it will give the info. So we can start from 1, it is preset. Overflow state and overrun state, and running state or active state, whether it is in running state and it is in finished state. Reset enable or disable state, load enable and disable state. So these are the various states in timing and counting devices circuits. So next is, this is the device. So this is about timing and counting device. So we use internal clock circuit. So internal clock circuit, after internal clock pulses, we have a block which is nothing but prescaler. So prescaler means, so suppose assume that if clock pulses speed is 80 megahertz, so we can divide that 80 megahertz by some integer value. So if you want to reduce clock for that operation, we can use with prescaler device. So next, n-bit timer. This bit is nothing but control flag registers states. So these are the some of the control flag register, timer control register states: time start, time stop, time start and time stop, timer enable. If this bit is up count or down count, if it is true, then it is in up count state. If it is false, means 0, then it is in down count state. So this is a load enable state. So if we have to count 20, so then we load 20. So from 0 to 20 different events. So next, if it has finished, then it has timeout. So these are the timer and timer cum counting devices, the block diagram. So next class I will discuss about design matrix. Thank you so much.